Of course, no bike show would ever be complete without a display of stunt riding, and this is the trick wizard himself, Jason Finn, on his trials bike. And although the crowd were very impressed, Jason's assistant Craig seemed to have drawn the short straw.
Now, you can't visit a motorcycle show with at least introducing to you different types of fancy helmets. So I brought you here to this laser helmet stand for all sorts of different types and colours. Now, if you're a road bike rider, you will know that you can buy all the replicas you fancy, your Creville, your Doohan, your Kenny Roberts, Hager, with different brands from every different make you can think of, your AGV, Shoei, RI, all of them do race replicas. But it isn't common to see a race replica in a motocross helmet. Well, now you can buy one. Because look what I've got here. For example, that Stefan Peter Hansel. He is definitely a very clever all-round motorcyclist and does the Paris-Dakar. So you can have one of his colour jobs. Stefan Everts. Everybody knows Stefan Everts. He's won the world title loads of times. Now you can even have a Gordon Crockard. And Gordon Crockard is the Irish lad who is taking the motocross world by storm. He's won the British Championship, the Irish Championship, and is in fact 6th in the world in the 250s. And you can buy his race replica colour. They're about £130 to buy the race replica, but you can buy a laser helmet for motocross use, just like the real thing, for around £69. So, good value for money. And if you fall off a lot, which I definitely do, you can even buy the bits and pieces. You can buy new peaks, no problem. You can buy the trimmings inside even, if you wreck them. And you can take them all out and wash them. So even if you've got a smelly head, the problem is resolved. Now then, talking about resolve, I do like to party, and because Laser Helmet of Belgium, we have Belgian beer, Belgian chocolates, and I'm going to have a party. Bye bye.
Now, if you go to a football match these days, many people tend to go wearing the shirt of their favourite team. You go and watch Man United, and lots of people turn up in Man United shirts. You buy them from the souvenir shop. Well, that kind of scenario is coming into biking a little bit now, especially Speedway, because Speedway is going a bit show busy really, hasn't it? A bit razzmatazz. It's got great TV coverage and the action's fast and furious and it's good to watch. Well, now you can go perfectly dressed as your favourite Speedway star. In this case, this is a replica Jason Crump kit. Jason, of course, rides for the Kings Lynn Knights, and you can buy this sort of thing from their souvenir shops. Other people are doing it, like the Oxford Cheetahs, you've got the Wolverhampton Wolves, and you can, as I say, go in the colours of your favourite team. And look at this, even jackets now being made, the Pool Pirates. So pretty much like the football scenario, you can now go dressed as your favourite Speedway star. In fact, that looks like my size. I think it is.
So look at me balancing one of these, eh? Total balance. I lie actually, and the reason I lie is because there is a third wheel here on the side, my bit on the side. Now you might recognise this. This is a trials bike. Now we've shown you trials on two wheels many a time before. And it's where these machines and able riders go up and down dale, over rocks, through streams, by tree trunks, you name it, and of course the indoor arena trials with the world famous Dougie Lampkin, and he rides a bike just like this one. But this bit on the side here is a little different. Cycad Trials. It's not the only sidecar motorcycle that exists, of course, because you've got your Speedway, your grass track, motocross, road racing, you name it. But I have a passion for this, because for many a year I've ridden one of these Cycad Trials. I'm still practicing, I've still got a lot to learn, but one day I could become quite good. They're very simple, it's just a tubular framework. They're very strong, but they're relatively light, and the idea is so it can be manhandled over quite heavy terrain. There's nothing complicated about it. The passenger, he hangs out here, and he might move over here and do a bit of ballerina work, and it's commonly crossed between a ballerina and a lemming if you want to be a passenger. The wheel's nice and light, so it just bounces nicely over rocks, and you might notice down here a disc brake, and that's activated by a foot pedal in the sidecar. But the foot pedal isn't used by the passenger, me, it's used by the rider. And the idea of the rider using it is simply so he's got total control. It helps him turn left very, very tightly. It helps him when they're going downhill, and it also helps they're going along a long camber with the sidecar in the air. Maybe one day you'll ever get the chance to see one, or even have a go in one, because I know that there are a great bunch of lads who do Cycad Trials. If ever you saw one and said, "Can I have a go, mister?" I reckon he'll give you a go. All I need is a decent rider, because the passenger bit I love doing.
Hey up, Wayne.
I said all I need, a decent rider, and you're definitely not one of them. Now I know you find it a little bit unusual for us to show you a push bike on a motorcycle programme, but there is a good reason for it. Now first of all, the one that I'm here by is actually a BMX style push bike, okay? So that is, you've seen them on the shops, everybody knows a BMX bike, but this is a bit different. Let me show you this. This is a cycle that is for trials, push bike trials. Now that's a bit different, it's a bit new, isn't it? We know of Dougie Lampkin, don't we? A world trials champion of many times. The difference is with these, there's no engine. But the daft thing about it is, you guys out there can buy this sort of thing. It isn't special. Now what better people to talk to is guys who are at the top, world class guys. We've got English lads, British lads who ride at world level. We've got Ben and Dan here. Come over here, fellas. Come over here. World class trials guys on push bikes. So how long have you been doing this cycle trials for?
About 8 years.
About 8 years?
Yeah, started when I was 5.
Flipping heck. How about you?
About 3 to 3.5 years.
Have you? But you're up at the top, you're in the world scene now doing it. So you are stars. It's great to be touching a star and talking to stars. But is it because you want to go to motorcycles, or is this where you want to stop?
No, I'm going to stay on cycles.
You're going to stay on cycles?
Not going to go to motorbikes.
But I've seen you on motorcycle trials bikes, and you're good at that as well. What's your preference?
I'd like to go back to the motorcycles
Would you?
because it's just improving technique all the time.
Good practice. Now, just for the lads out there at home, young lads who've perhaps got a BMX at home or a mountain bike, common cycles, granted, it is unusual, a trials bike. What's the differences like?
Different frame dimensions and sometimes sharper brakes, more powerful brakes, and they're just lighter in general.
Now, without doubt, the world of biking is very much a family concern, and I think more so in the off-road world than the road bike scene. There's certainly more for the youngsters in the world of off-road machines. So if little boy or little girl wants to get involved in riding bikes, you might want to start them on something like this, a little 70cc Honda. Dead easy to ride, there's no clutch on it. It's got gears, but there's no clutch, so it's just rev and go. Twist it like a modern scooter, and away they go. Then when they get the buzz, perhaps get a little bit more competent and they get that competitive edge, they can move up to something like this, an 80cc bike, but now we've got a clutch there, we've got gears, it's the same as a bike that the big boys ride, all the same configuration. That'll cost you about £2,300. Little 70, by the way, is about £1,350. Then as young boy or young girl grows up, their legs get a bit longer. You move them up to the next stage, which is this 80cc. Again, it's the same bike basically, but with big wheels now. So they're used to the power, they know what they're riding, but it's physically a bigger machine. Then they grow up, big teenagers, or even become parents. Of course, there's big motocross bikes like this one there in dad's size.
Look at this is massive, this. There's a 250 version done, this is the 400 XR, and this is 4,400 quid. They even do a 650 version, it's huge. But if dad happens to be vertically challenged, such as moi, then there's even a bike to suit him, like this one. And this one's 800 quid's worth. Oh, mere loose change. In fact, I'll just go and empty my pockets. See you later.
You know, there's some very smart stands here this year, big fancy stands with big coloured signs and bright lights, all meant to catch your attention, but look at this. This is definitely won the top prize for attention grabbing this year. This is an RSR fully breathable waterproof suit, which is quite unusual in the Enduro world because Enduro stuff generally isn't waterproof, but this is 270 quid's worth, all British made in Yorkshire. A nice display. You sell a few of them in the car park today actually.